Crowfoot.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I appreciate both the motion and the interventions that my colleague made in initially bringing up this question of privilege and in the speech that he just made. So I think there's the impacts that this has on the lawmaking and legislative authority. But what signal does it send? That there has been a lack of response, that there was not appropriate awareness brought to parliamentarians. What message does that send to diaspora communities, especially when it comes to the actions of the PRC, the communist dictatorship in Beijing, and how that affects on some incredibly sensitive issues that certainly transcend political parties in this place? This is not simply a conservative issue. This is something that has affected members from multiple political parties, and how that affects diaspora communities and their ability to be free and active players in Canadian democracy. I'm wondering if my colleague from Fort Saskatchewan, Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, could expand on that impact.
The Honourable Member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What message does it send? These events suggest, yet again, that when people are victims of foreign interference, the government does not have their back. And sadly, this is something that I have heard time and time again from talking to Canadians who are impacted by foreign interference outside of this place. We had a vote today on listing the IRGC as a terrorist organization. I can recall a press conference we hosted on Parliament Hill with a young man whose wife was murdered when Flight PS752 was shot down. He faced threats from the IRGC when he started to speak out about these events. And I've spoken to many others who've been affected by foreign interference, and they've been frustrated by trying to report what they've experienced and by being passed back and forth between different agencies, by being given the runaround, by not being given the information they need. And this is a case where people who have the privilege of being members of Parliament were not told about threats to themselves. You know, I think members of Parliament should be informed about threats. I also think we should be, whenever possible, and unless there's some compelling security reason not to, we should be seeking to inform anybody about foreign interference threats to them or institutions they're involved in, so that they can take appropriate steps to protect themselves. And we need to have their backs, whether it's a member of Parliament or a student leader or an everyday citizen who's afraid of going to a protest. We need to have the backs of our citizens who are worried about foreign interference, so that they know that they can speak and advocate based on their own convictions, regardless of what a foreign state thinks about it.